Welcome to Challenge 11, How Good is My Team at Risk Management by Johnny and the Beards. I'm Dale, and together with Johnny, Russell and Ben, we'll be sharing with you our concept for assessing how good your team is at risk management.
So we were given the challenge of using some risk data to determine how we could assess the effectiveness of risk management on an individual project and portfolio perspective. We explored many areas from a knowledge, skills and behaviors lens, and we'll step you through our 3-point assessment.
Our 3-point assessment includes Riskovery, Riskology, and Riskription, which can also be read as Discovery, Biology, and Prescription. Let's take you through it.
So in the first step of Riskovery, we acquired the data available in Excel data source. We pre-transformed in Python to add additional data points to fully broaden the available data and quality of data. From that point, we then pushed this into a business intelligence layer and applied additional data analytical transformation and visualization. The visualizations that we selected were engineered to show insight beyond that which is traditionally shown in conventional risk management. Let's have a jump into the dashboard and see how that looks.
So on the first page here, we do have some conventional metrics where we're counting the total risks, those that have occurred, those that have not occurred, and those that will happen in the future. We show the balance of those that are owned by the client and the contractor. We've added new insights here using Brier scoring to determine the initial likelihood or the accuracy of the initial likelihood versus the outcome. So if the initial likelihood was high and it did not happen, that would return poor. If the initial likelihood was high and it did happen, it would return strong. And we also have moderate and weak for those of lower likelihoods, less than 50%. On the bottom here, we just have counts of those that have not occurred, those that have occurred, occurring in future. And we can see by far and away, there is more that have not occurred, 64% over the entire portfolio, and the large proportion for each and every risk manager. On the bottom here, we are showing the overall percentage of the portfolio risk represented by the risks associated to a project. So project 13 at the top, 10.5% of the overall risk at portfolio level. If we hover over it, we can see our league table of the risk managers here. So we can also see the years of experience, the quality of those years of experience. We work out weighted experience from those two metrics. There is a risk tool capability, i.e. how many risk tools in the market can they use. And then we have a personality profile indicator here, very much like DISC personalities. We have a similar showing of this on the top. This is split firstly by teams and then by individual risk managers. So we can see team 4 have the majority of the percentage of project risk, and if we hover over those that are yellow, we can see which risk managers represent those. If we do the same for red, we can see those for red. If we actually drill down, we can then split out each of those representative members, see the percentage that they were responsible for, see the color that aligns with them, and everything else on the page adjusts to suit. And on the second page here, we have shown in tabular form a lot of the makeup metrics that we have used. So we have the time percentage of the individual risks per the project, the time of the individual risk per the portfolio, the cost for the same. We then show the average of the initial likelihood and the residual likelihood. We show our Brier scores that we have used on each individual risk. We do not return anything for a future risk because it has not had a resolution. We have given some groupings for those Brier scores, and then we have modeled the accuracy of those that have occurred and those that have not occurred. So you can see here, those that have occurred have been 100%. If we scroll down, there are some that are 50%, 75%, etc. And then we have a breakdown of the league table, which has the risk managers, those individual accuracy metrics, and again the personality profile, and then the average of the Brier skill scoring, so that we can see aggregated per risk manager what that has been.
Based on what we've just seen, we know some individuals or teams have good or bad mitigation effectiveness based on the Brier score, which represents how good teams and individuals are at assessing likelihoods. In this view, we have supplemented that score with other assessable metrics: technical ability, risk model quality, and team risk model adherence. This top trumps view identifies specific areas of weakness contextualized by team DISC scores, helping users to take focused action to improve team performance.
So based on what we've shown, there's 3 logical steps in how we can progress our project, the foundation of which is improved data. So a wide variety of different data points, which will allow more relationships to be made between the data points and which will allow more KPIs to make swifter decisions.
So folks, there you've heard it. Now on to the judges' questions. So the first question that was put to us was, how would we develop our solution further given more time? And admittedly, we didn't have the most time in the world. 2 days is never enough. But some things we would do is provide further key performance indicators and metrics, because with the improved data set, we'd be able to identify, as we said, those key relationships. Question 2 was, what other data would improve our solution? Well, the sector of the project, the personality types, years of experience, the variety of relevant experience, and the number of relevant tools was data that we had to come up with. So if we had real data that represented those various aspects, that would certainly help the solution. And then question 3, how would the output to our challenge be used by risk managers? Well, we'd be able to assess their areas of improvement. So what do they need to focus on? Understand the accuracy of their assessments and indeed the strength of their mitigation actions.